If you are to measure time with the amount of noise being generated by politicians and the media about 2022, you would be forgiven to think that the date today is 31st December 2021. I do not think the average Kenyan politician's calendar has the date 1st of January 2023. For them, the world is supposed to end in 2022. That's how far they can think. When my viewers ask me about 2022, I remind them that the world will not end in 2022. In fact, if the current political class is all we will be choosing from, there can only be one guarantee: nothing will change. Welcome. This is Matters Arising. This talk of 2022 is political hype manufactured by the politicians and sold by the media, both of whom have totally failed to articulate an alternative political dispensation for this country. My position is and has been that the only way we can save our country and modernize it is by investing and inspiring a new generation of young Kenyans who will do it. The talk of 2022 has nothing to do with preparing a new generation of our youth to take power. It is about recycling the same political crap that has been part of our political dispensation since independence. Some people have claimed that the presidency in 2022 is their preserve. They have narratives about tribal pacts that they made in 2013 and political debts that they are owed. The presidency is not a preserve of anyone. What this means is that anyone, including those who have claims on tribal debts, have a right to present themselves as candidates, and then, like the doyen of opposition politics, the late Mr. Kenneth Matiba, used to say, let the people decide. For some politicians, though, the way the people should decide has been predetermined by some tribal alliances and debts. Currently, this narrative is being pushed by their retired political lieutenants who sound like madmen, frothing in the mouth with pronouncements of debt, betrayal, and issuing cryptic warnings about dire consequences if the people should decide to vote otherwise. But like they say, if you hear a dog barking, look for the owner. Soon enough, the dog masters will join the fray, and make no mistake, when time is ripe, Shylock will demand his pound of flesh. If you know, you know. This is where the problem arises. One seeks the presidency on a certain political platform and agenda of what they will do for the country. The 2022 debate is tellingly silent about a national vision for the people of Kenya. Those who think they are owed the presidency and those working extremely hard to stop them have nothing new or different to offer the people. Be not fooled. The current Jubilee ODM government will leave this country in a deep hole with their big false agenda. In 2022, it will have been 10 years of Jubilee's big four nonsense: debt, theft, taxes, and bullshit. We will need big brains and a great national vision to dig ourselves out of the mess we have been sunk by these same politicians. From where I'm seated, I do not see how these same politicians can convince anyone that they are even remotely capable of such a plan. If they were, they would already have implemented it, especially in this Nusumkate government after the handshake. So, on what platform will they base their politics in 2022? There are no awards for guessing on this one. They will simply do what they know best. They will divide the country along tribal lines. Of course, it is a possibility that the divisions will have happened well before 2022. Currently, they are pushing a referendum down our throats, the sole purpose of which is to make sure they will still have access to state largesse and privilege come 2022, regardless of whichever way the people vote. The referendum is a political conspiracy to disenfranchise the people and vest electoral power in an easily manipulable parliamentary system, all for the benefit and security of the political wheeler dealers and the tribal warlords. But I digress. I will make that a story for another day. While the 2022 campaigns are in full gear, there are no blueprints, no manifestos, no national vision, and no people-centered agenda. It is highly unlikely and well nigh impossible to have this develop as we get closer to 2022. You do not start with populism, gerrymandering, mudslinging, and tribal jingoism, and then develop towards a solid political agenda and platform. That is just not the way it works. You do not get order from chaos. In Kenyan politics, what you see is what you get. The bickering that you see now will only get worse, not better. More chaotic and not more organized. More myopic and not more visionary. In a nutshell, nothing will change. And if it does, it will change for the worse. I don't think I can say anything here that will shock you about the current Jubilee ODM political class or anything I haven't said elsewhere. The question we should ask ourselves is, how will our lives and that of our children be different come 2022? Should we sit around helplessly watching as the media treats us to a meaningless circus, complete with Jubilee ODM political clowns, puppeteers, and their marionettes? The answer is no. I am reminded that when Obama came here, he made a profound statement about our situation, and he told us that our problem is not ethnicity and a clueless political class. Our problem is lack of imagination. I agree. The political space as enacted by the political class and as mediated by an intellectually bankrupt media is totally devoid of imagination. Every day, we are treated to the same characters, saying the same things. 2022, big four nonsense, national debt, fighting corruption, handshake, kieleweke, DCI, tanga, tenders, courts, dams, billions stolen, and so on and so forth. While the status of the average Kenyan gets worse and worse by the day. By the way, this is not a very unwelcome scenario for our politicians. They prefer a poor electorate that will easily fall for their manipulation and bribery. Do not be fooled. An impoverished Kenya is not a bad thing for the political class. That is how they will guarantee their continued stay in power. By 2022, we will have more Kenyans living in abject poverty than when the Jubilee government came to power in 2013. And the political class will be jubilating, pun intended. In fact, show me 10 people who are better off now than they were in 2013, and I will show you 9 thieves and 1 very, very lucky guy. Like Obama cancelled, imagining an alternative for ourselves is the most urgent political work that we can get involved in before 2022. Otherwise, the suckers in town will be with us for a long time after that, and nothing will change. The narrative of 2022 and beyond cannot be left to these same politicians who have overseen a plutocracy in their tenure since 2013. When you listen to the cacophony coming from them and their competitors, there is nothing new or of value to the country and its youth. There are no political blueprints, no new ideologies, no new directions, and absolutely no inspiring national vision. In fact, what we have is the opposite. The usual politics of ethnicity, impunity, and mediocrity. Siasa ya ukabila, ukora, na upuzi. The foolishness of it all is starting to nauseate, and we the people must imagine something else. Unfortunately, the political class is tying the destiny of this country to their political fortunes in 2022. We will do well to be warned. 2022 is not the end of the world. We will have a country after that. And if we do not imagine something else, and all we have are these Jubilee ODM NASA jokers, nothing will change. For Matters Arising, I am Professor Wainaina.